And the first pundit is Jamie Carragher.
No. We're starting with Neville. I've got a bone to pick with that man. Asked him for one question. This is what he said to me.
Just quickly, one word for that result for United. I'm not doing that.
I'm fuming to be honest with you.
I'm furious to be honest with you.
He's going straight in the bottom tier.
Whoa, calm down, Theo. It's only a commercial. Wait till later. Have a brew.
Okay.
Let's talk about Jamie Carragher. Whenever he comes on the telly at the tennis club, Cockney Brian's like, can someone put these subtitles on, please? Which always makes us laugh.
There's some of the moments he has with Neville, who we'll speak about later. They have some great banter together. We can't deny it. You know, we've all heard the moans during that Liverpool City game.
David Silva roll more central.
For me, he's going in the second category.
Well, I would have put in the second category. Then I heard Carragher say this.
Whoever's involved in this, stop it, because you're ruining football for everybody.
I had to put it in the top tier.
Wow.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Now for Joe Cole. This is the man who called the Barcelona Academy a curry. Call it masala instead of la masia. And you know what? Joe Cole just isn't very good, Theo.
How's he done that?
Like the Pedris, the Des, you know, the next generation of the masala. The academy there.
To be fair, this is off topic, but I did cook a very good masala with thogsis the other day.
Yeah, you did apparently.
It was actually very nice. You can eat it because he doesn't eat meat, shocking. I'm going to have to put him in the I don't know Jeff category.
Yeah, and I agree. And now for Garth Crooks, who's very well spoken, but you know what? I just find him a little bit arrogant, Theo. I think he loves what he's saying just that little bit too much, and for that reason, match of the day 3 for Garth Crooks.
Oh, is that the category? Okay. Well, he loves a poor decision.
Yeah, it is a poor decision.
Yeah, have you ever seen that?
Yeah,
it's brilliant. You've got it spot on there, Dad. I think I've thrown him in the exact same category, which is MOTD3 at best.
Peter Crouch now, and all I can say is I love this bloke. He's likeable, he's funny, his podcasts are brilliant, and I turn on my telly to watch him. And what I like about him, Theo, he's not just amusing, and he's got this nature. He can joke at himself, can't he? But he's played at all levels of football.
For me, I put him straight in the top tier.
Wow.
I'm gonna throw that straight out there right now. Unbelievable, Jeff.
Rio Ferdinand now, he's achieved a lot in the game, and I think he's a decent pundit, Theo. But you know what, he's a little bit biased towards Man United, and overall, all I can do is put him in that middle solid category.
Yeah, what you have to remember is he's a fan, okay? That's why he said...
Get the contract out, put it on the table. Ollie's at the wheel, man. He's doing his thing.
And then United went on bad form. Everyone was writing to him and saying, you're a bad pundit. No, he's a fan, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard to mark him down on that. He did come out with a really good quote about Messi and Ronaldo, basically saying, I've seen people compare the two, just enjoy them.
Just enjoy him, man.
I put him in the second best tier. Worth turning on the telly for, because it is. He's a good pundit.
Yeah, and he's obviously a very likeable man as well. And now for Thierry Henry, I'm going to keep my voice down because he literally lives 300 yards up the road. Now, this is a man who won the 98 World Cup. He won the 2000 Euros. So the knowledge of football he's got is incredible. The trouble with Thierry Henry, sometimes he takes himself a little bit too seriously.
You think so?
I do. Now, I'd switch the telly on for him. I'm going to put him in the second category.
Okay, I think Thierry Henry has some great moments. Do you remember when he put his hand on Carragher in the middle of it, like for no reason? But everyone just made it into a meme.
And once he backed his car out of his drive and I was about to press my horn, I'm like, oh no, that's Thierry Henry.
Yeah, I'll put him in the second category as well.
Jermaine, Jenas, he likes football. Jermaine, Jenas, he likes football.
Are you sure they're the lyrics?
Well, I've got bad hearing, so maybe they weren't. But Jermaine, Jenas, Theo, one of my problems with this guy, didn't actually achieve very much in his career. So when he's talking, I don't know, I'm switching off a little bit.
A football club once went for him on Twitter.
Yeah. I think he's okay. I'm going to give him the match of the day 3 slot.
Yeah, I'm going to give that as well, Dad. I agree with you.
And now for Chris Kamara, the one and only. I mean, he is genuinely funny, isn't he? But you know what? For me, he's become a little bit of a meme, to be quite honest. So I'm putting him in match of the day 3.
No.
Yes.
Cammy's a national treasure. Don't be a mug. This guy goes straight in the top category.
No.
Never mind the category. They're named after him. It's literally called Unbelievable, Jeff.
Yeah.
He's got to go in there. Sometimes he doesn't know what's going on the pitch, but he'll relate it and make it funny.
Okay, because of that little speech, he's going into the solid category, and that's final.
Dad, come off it.
And now for Roy Keane, and I think it's time for a trip down Thogden memory lane.
Wait, they're back.
Now, back in the day, we used to live in Altrincham, and there were footballers all around us, and every day Steve Bruce would walk past and he'd be like, all right, Stephen, how you doing? And then Ruud van Nistelrooy would come past and he would ruffle Theo's hair, and then Roy Keane would come past with his dog looking straight ahead, as if he's going down into Hale Village to fight someone, which he probably was. What a legend.
He definitely had a bulldog.
He had a Labrador.
Oh, this is awkward.
Once went to a park in Hale, and you were there with your little football, and there was 3 or 4 other kids, and you're like, Dad, can I play with those kids? I'm like, go and ask them. And can't you ask their dad? Roy Keane was stood.
And you sat on the other opposite side of a park bench to him.
Next to Roy Keane. I was too scared to say anything. But you know what? He's a legend as a footballer. He's managed, he's got massive experience of football, and as a pundit, he's bloody brilliant, isn't he, Theo? I think he's possibly the best pundit in the country, yes.
Fair play. Well, I'm going to say, he's one of the first names that I think of. I'm going to throw him in the top category, Unbelievable Jeff.
Unbelievable Jeff, yeah. Gary Lineker now, and he is a brilliant TV presenter. He's been doing this for years. But you know what? I mean, he's reliable, he's very good, very knowledgeable, but at times a little bit boring. And all the Twitter comments kind of mention that word.
To be honest, Dad, I'll keep it real with you. If it was a tier list on presenting, he'd be top by far. But when it's a punditry, you know, okay, he's had very funny moments where on BBC, on Match of the Day, where he's having the banter with Ian Wright and Alan Shearer. Growing up, like that was the best trio. When you turn on Match of the Day and it was them 3, you just knew there was going to be banter, and I loved that. So, you know what? He's getting in the second best category. I'd turn on the telly for him. Yeah, you know what? You're a sports presenter, Gary. Stick to the sport. But for that reason, turn on the telly, second category. Fair play. Paul Merson now. I've got to say, this lad makes me smile, but apart from that, I'm sorry, I don't know, Jeff. Because at times, it's like he doesn't know where he is, Theo, you know what I mean? He once did a Sky Sports tipping thing, and he told people City to 0 against Everton in a game a couple of years ago. The game ended Everton 4, City 0. Good autobiography, though. I read that, and it's a really nice story. Yeah, it is. It's a great story. Very open, very honest. But overall, I don't know, Jeff. Bottom category? Yes. I put him second bottom. Who's next, Dog Dad? It's Gary Neville. Calm down, Theo. Now take a breath, have another sip of tea, and I will talk about what I think. Because I think that Gary Neville is a superb pundit. Carragher pointed out that he tweeted about a year ago. The scary thing is that a large percentage of people now actually support these sackings as they become accustomed to it. How can you build a football team without getting 2 to 3 years? A rule change is required to moderate sackings of managers mid-season in their first year at a club. He then goes and sacks his manager about 2 months later. Wow, take that point, Theo. It is a bit contradictory. I think he's elite. Unbelievable, Jeff. You might get me off. Michael Owen, now he was unbelievably bad when he started at BT Sport, but I think over the years he's got better. He's fair, he's balanced, he's played the game at the highest level. Do you know what? Match of the Day 3. Quotations on, when they don't score, they hardly ever win. It's a great statement. I'm gonna have to throw in, I don't know, Jeff, because I don't really know. Micah Richards, now this is a funny guy. He laughs a lot, that is very infectious, and he's great entertainment. The trouble is, I feel that he's there because it's a Man City tick, Theo, you know. He's going to learn a lot as the years progress, but at the moment, his analysis, I think, is bang average. I disagree. I think Roy Keane and him have a great duo. Yeah. His high-pitched laugh makes me laugh every single time. Especially through the lockdowns that we've been through, where it's been really tough for a lot of people just staying indoors. Micah Richards has put a smile on a lot of people's face. That's exactly what people need. I'm throwing him in the second best category because he deserves it, Dad. Yeah, now he's an entertainer, and for that reason I'm putting him in category 3, but he will get better. That's harsh, Dad. Robbie Savage now he's obviously a funny guy, and it's non-stop banter there. He's the kind of guy I'd love to go for a pint with. But do you know what, Theo? There's almost too much banter in that studio. When we turn on the BT stuff and they're giving the scores out together, he's always bantering with the other presenters and the other pundits. I love it. Okay, sometimes his opinions could be a little bit off, but he makes up for it with pure laughter. Therefore, I'm going to put him in the solid category. Right, I just think he's become a bit of a meme, Theo, and I don't think he's taken seriously. Match of the Day 3. That's a bit harsh, Dan. Alex Scott now, and I've got to say, I love the banter she had with Jamie Carragher the other day about women's football. I thought that was top notch. And I tell you what, this lady, she's very likeable, very knowledgeable, and I think she's turning out to be a brilliant presenter. For me, she's my favourite women's pundit.
Yes.
And the reason I would say that is because she's got this positivity that I think comes across. For me, I'm going to have to put her in the solid category.
Absolutely, and she's played the game at the highest level, so she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I nearly put her in the top category. That's going to happen in the next few years. I'll put her in the second category. Alan Shearer now, and he is a hugely experienced TV presenter, isn't he, Theo?
Yeah. He's got a good balance between when it's time for banter, when it's time for seriousness, angriness, kind of every emotion. I think he gets it quite right. And when you're a Newcastle fan, you've got to be spot on with your points, because there's a lot that goes on at that club. Unbelievable, Jeff. Top tier for me.
Wow, that is a big statement. Now, I think he's very, very good, the ultimate professional, but he's not quite Gary Neville or Roy Keane level. I'm putting him in the second category. Now for Graeme Souness, who is experienced and knowledgeable. He's been around forever, but comments on Twitter are that really he's a little bit outdated, Theo. Do you agree?
I do. I think his opinions can be a little bit off.
Yes.
The whole Pogba situation, I wasn't a fan of, because I would watch a game, think Pogba was decent, and then I'll turn on the punditry and he'll be saying the same thing that he's been saying week in, week out about Pogba. Like, where was he? He's had other opinions where, then when you go back to watch his highlights as a footballer, he's coming in with the worst possible tackles that you can even think of.
Now, he's done everything in the game. He does get a little bit salty at times. You know what? Overall, I don't dislike him. I'm putting him in the solid category.
Yeah, but I can see why Sky Sports keep him on, because he's a good balance, right? Because he adds that kind of anger and a bit straight up punditry that the others, the new guys, don't do. They want to be positive, they want to be laughter. So they need a Souness in there. But for me, I'm going to have to put him in the I don't know Jeff category, I'm sorry.
And finally, Ian Wright, who I think is a great TV personality and ideal for Match of the Day. What do you reckon, Theo?
One of the most positive guys there are. Like, this guy is a typical Arsenal fan. He's just trying to see the good sides of every single situation. They might be middle of the Premier League, but he's still looking at little things. And I think he's the best at coming across the most emotionally connected with the people watching.
Yeah.
When he spoke about Smith Rowe, seeing him grow up, his family, it felt very like you feel his emotions.
Yes.
There's been documentaries where he speaks about his career and a random teacher that gave him a chance, that helped him get to where he wanted to be and set him up for the rest of his life. He's very open. It comes across better than all of the pundits. And therefore, I was flicking between the first and second category, but I thought more and more about it. I grew up watching him and he's a legend, so I had to put him in the top tier. Unbelievable, Jeff.
Wow, what a speech. Now, he is one of the best in the country, but for me, he's just in that second category. I'll turn on the TV for you.
Fair play. How many likes, Dan?
10,000 likes, please.
Comment down below if you agree with our opinions too. And if you don't subscribe, you're a mug. And on that note, I'm off.
See ya.